Welcome back. You might call him a lifetime patriot, a Marine who saw a great deal of active duty once he returned home to Bakersfield, and that all continues today. Joining us in studio, the president of the Patriots of Kern, a guy we wanted to have on for quite some time, Dick Taylor, formerly County Director of Veterans Services for many, many years. Welcome and thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks, Mike, for having me.
Appreciate it. So with the Patriots of Kern, you're also on the board out at the National Cemetery, and since it opened, we'll say that, it has seen so much activity and gotten so much notoriety.
It has, and it's really a gem. For those that don't know, it sits on 500 acres donated by Tejon Ranch. The board said it was their easiest decision, the board of Tejon Ranch, to donate that free of charge to the National Cemetery. So yeah, it is such a gorgeous piece of property, and now there's over 6,000 interments up there, and it opened in 2009.
You talk about that, the 6,000. How overdue was something like this just in this area?
It was way overdue because it not only draws from Kern County but other surrounding counties, and it was an act of Congress in 2003 that authorized an addition of a national cemetery in this area. And so, you know, we have World War II vets, Korean War vets, and Vietnam vets that are dying, and they were looking for a place that would have a longevity to last for many, many years.
And of course, Marine Corps, for those who don't know, this is the 75th anniversary this week of Iwo Jima, which began yesterday, the assault, and lasted more than a month. And one of the things that we were talking about, I think that people may not remember, is that the flag raising on Suribachi, which was one of the most iconic moments in military history, happened 3 days into this battle. That's just amazing. We'll go ahead and show some video. And it starts out, this was released by the Marines, showing Iwo Jima now, and then we dissolve back to what it was then. What kind of a moment was that for the Marines in their storied history?
You know, it was the bloodiest battle in the history of the Marine Corps. Over 70,000 Marines assaulted Iwo Jima. It had been bombarded for weeks by Army Air Corps and naval bombardment, gunfire, bombs, and they thought that they had pretty well peppered that and reduced any resistance by the Japanese, but in fact when the Marines went ashore, there were miles of underground tunnels that were still in place, and it was just a slaughterhouse. And like you said, it took 3 days to get to the top of Mount Suribachi, but at a huge cost of human life.
But then 36 total days to drive out and actually secure that island.
And I believe the commander the Japanese thought it would take take a lot more people to get through that than actually that occurred. But it was at the time, Secretary of the Navy James Forrestal said when that flag was raised on Mount Suribachi, that ensured a Marine Corps for the next 500 years. And what's interesting now is several of the flag raisers, as was outlined in the iconic book Flags of Our Fathers, now it turns out there was some misidentification, and the Marine Corps has clarified that as to who the flag raisers were.
What do you have coming up out at the National Cemetery?
The National Cemetery, they have a Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day event on Saturday, March 21st.
Oh, okay.
So that's a cool event. There were several of them around town. They're trying to consolidate that into just one up there. We used to have one at our office, but instead of having several at the same time, we're going to have that one up there, and that's exciting. We also have the National Cemetery has their Memorial Day weekend event, which is Saturday, the 23rd. That way it won't interfere with other events going on the following Monday.
And real quick, how much longer are you going to keep doing this, Dick?
You know what? I was telling somebody the other day, is if God allows me, I want to keep going 100 miles an hour with my hair on fire right up to the end.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for all you guys do for our veterans.
It is our pleasure. Let's go.